Picture the scene. It's almost 3 a.m., and the world sleeps peacefully around you. Your family rests upstairs, trusting you completely. They believe you're downstairs building their future, securing their dreams, but instead, you just watch their college funds disappear into the digital void. 6 glowing monitors cast an eerie light across your face, but they're not showing hope or progress. They're displaying pure destruction, number by number, dollar by dollar. $2,137,431. Gone. Not a mistake. Not a practice account. Real money that will never come back. The strangest part? You don't even feel human anymore. No tears, no screaming, no shaking hands. Just an empty shell staring at numbers that stopped making sense hours ago. Like you've fallen into someone else's worst nightmare and forgotten the way out. But here's what nobody ever talks about in trading courses. You can do everything perfectly and still lose everything. You can have iron discipline, detailed plans, perfect journals, and meditation routines. You can check every single box and still watch your account explode twice. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support is important for our growth. It took losing $2 million to understand a brutal truth. The problem wasn't the strategy or the system. The problem was me. Most trading advice sounds so logical and comforting. Control your emotions, they say. Stick to your plan. Be disciplined. And you believe it because it gives you hope, a sense of control over chaos. But discipline isn't the solution. Discipline is just a mask you wear when you're running from your true self. The moment real pressure hits, when the mortgage is due or someone you love needs help, that disciplined trader vanishes. Someone else takes over. For me, it was the terrified husband, the desperate father willing to bet everything on one trade just to stop the pain. That night taught me something no book ever mentioned. The market doesn't test your strategy. It reveals who you really are underneath all the planning and preparation. It strips away every layer you've built and exposes the real you on those glowing screens. You think you're trading currencies or stocks? Wrong. You're trading yourself, your deepest beliefs, your hidden fears, your unhealed wounds. And when those wounds stay buried and ignored, they start making your trading decisions for you. The market becomes a mirror reflecting what you truly believe you deserve. If deep down you think you're not worthy of wealth, if you believe money is dangerous or temporary, you'll find ways to give it back every single time. The market stays neutral while you create your own instability. That $2 million loss wasn't just failure. It was the price of meeting myself for the first time. Not the confident trader version with goals and plans and smart-sounding quotes, but the real me, the one who'd been making trades all along while I pretended someone else was in control. Here's something that might shock you. You don't have just one trader living inside your mind. You have several different versions, each one completely different from the others. There's the confident planner who makes perfect strategies on Sunday night, the anxious risk-taker who doubles down on losing positions, the revenge seeker who chases losses with bigger bets, the FOMO addict who jumps into trades at the worst possible moments. You cycle through these different versions depending on your mood, your stress level, your recent wins or losses, and every single one of them has access to your trading account. No wonder your results feel so inconsistent. You're not one trader making logical decisions. You're 5 different personalities fighting over the same money. Monday morning, you feel like Warren Buffett making wise long-term decisions. Tuesday afternoon, you're gambling like you're in Vegas. By Friday, you're an emotional wreck, just trying to hurt something, anything, to make the pain stop. The market doesn't care which version shows up. It just reflects them all back to you with perfect, brutal honesty. Until you meet the trader who emerges under real pressure, when everything important is on the line, you'll keep repeating the same destructive cycle. Because the real enemy isn't market volatility or economic news or institutional manipulation. It's the version of yourself that you've never properly met, the one who's been secretly making your most important decisions all along. This is where we dive deep into the psychology that nobody wants to discuss, the hidden forces that turn profitable strategies into account-destroying disasters. At that moment, I realized money can't fill the emptiness inside. It was 2:47 a.m., and I had lost everything. But in that loss, I discovered something far more valuable than any win. I found the truth, and truth doesn't care about appearances or achievements. It demands complete honesty. I was about to face the most critical moment of my trading journey. December 3rd, 2020 was etched in my memory like a permanent scar. Down 80%, with just one trade left before the margin call, I sat in a silent room. A cold coffee mug sat beside me, ignored. My phone showed 47 missed calls from my broker. Outside, my neighbor Mo was mowing his lawn, as if the world remained unchanged. But nothing was normal inside me. This wasn't just another trade. This was my final act of surrender. I was preparing to click buy, not because the setup made sense, but because I was done pretending. This trade was my suicide note, clicked instead of written, a final surrender disguised as a trading strategy. Strangely, I felt relief. For the first time in weeks, I could breathe. Once the account hit zero, the mental torture would stop. No more lying to myself. No more false hope. No more performing discipline. Rock bottom has its own peculiar peace. When you've lost everything, there's nothing left to fear losing. The internal war goes quiet, and that silence feels almost comforting. Most traders aren't really trying to win. They're trying to prove they deserve to lose. I see now how deeply our past wounds control us, especially in trading. It's not about being bad at charts or strategies. It's about the invisible scripts we carry from childhood, those silent lessons about money and worth that we absorbed without even knowing. When our parents struggled, when we watched tension over bills or saw silent sacrifices, we internalized those moments. Money became more than numbers. It became an emotional battlefield. Now, years later, sitting in front of trading screens, those old wounds speak. A winning trade feels wrong because success wasn't part of our original story. Our subconscious doesn't trust ease or abundance. It whispers that something must be wrong if things are going well, so we sabotage, not because we want to fail, but because failure feels like home. Losing is familiar. Struggling is our comfort zone. We're not broken traders. We're wounded humans playing out ancient scripts. Every adjusted stop loss, every revenge trade, every impulsive entry. These aren't mistakes. They're desperate attempts to make the world match our internal narrative. Success threatens our identity, built around struggle. We know ourselves in pain, in challenge, in barely surviving. Winning feels like betrayal to that old self. This isn't about trading skill. This is about healing, about recognizing how our deepest fears drive our financial decisions. Until we understand this, we'll keep repeating the same patterns, burning through accounts like we're trying to prove something to a past that no longer exists. Every time you blow a stop loss, it's like your past self is writing a suicide note. This isn't just a technical point. It's a deep psychological moment where your childhood fears surface. That inner voice whispers, "You were never meant to have money. This is your fate." But that voice isn't prophecy. It's just programming. And programming can be changed. The real work starts with one terrifying question. Why am I so committed to destroying myself? If you're brave enough to answer honestly, you'll discover something shocking. You're not afraid of failure. You're afraid of freedom. Because freedom means taking responsibility. It means letting go of old pain. It means believing you deserve success, ease, and winning. For someone raised to believe that struggle is noble and money is evil, this level of freedom feels unbearable. So you keep returning to familiar pain. You repeat old patterns until something inside you finally says, enough. You realize you're not here to relive trauma through trading charts. You're not here to punish yourself or prove your parents right about money. You're here to evolve, to trade with clarity, to succeed without guilt, to rewrite your entire life's script. So when that old urge comes to make a trade, you know you shouldn't. To chase a senseless loss, to shrink from profit, stop. Ask yourself, am I trading right now? Or am I just reliving pain? Once you see the difference, everything changes. I'll rewrite the text as a natural narration. Trading isn't just about charts and numbers. It's about understanding how your brain works. Most traders don't realize they're actually fighting a battle inside their own mind. There are 3 different parts of your brain trading simultaneously, each with its own survival strategy. The first trader is the oldest part of your brain, the reptilian brain. It's pure instinct, about 500 million years old. This part doesn't understand trading strategies or market patterns. It only understands immediate threats. When a red candle drops hard on your screen, this brain sees it like a tiger attacking. In just 0.02 seconds, your body floods with cortisol. Your heart races, your breathing changes, and your vision narrows. The worst part? Blood actually moves away from the part of your brain that knows your trading plan. The second trader is the mammalian brain, around 150 million years old. This is your emotional brain. It remembers how trades made you feel. It doesn't want you to win, it wants you to feel good. This brain makes you chase winning trades, gets excited after victories, and panics when you're losing money. It treats trading like a tribal competition where every win is a badge of honor and every loss feels like a personal threat. The third trader is the newest part, the human brain, just 200,000 years old. This is the logical, strategic part that tries to follow rules and make rational decisions. The human brain is a complex system that designs, journals, and analyzes. But the rational part you think is in control is actually offline when things get critical. When your body perceives a threat, access to logical thinking vanishes completely. It's a shocking reality. The part responsible for rational decisions shuts down precisely when you need it most. This is the true tragedy of trading. We create strategies for the human mind, but we're really managing emotions for the mammalian brain. When pressure rises, the primitive reptilian brain takes control. You wonder why discipline seems impossible. You're trying to outsmart a system that reacts before thought even begins. No amount of positive thinking can override 500 million years of evolutionary survival instincts. When your trading account drops rapidly, your brain doesn't see a market dip. It sees potential death. You attempt to stay calm, but the reptilian brain is already in full survival mode, laughing at your efforts. Most traders fail, not because they lack intelligence or have a poor system, but because they haven't trained the part of themselves that actually makes decisions under pressure. The reptile brain doesn't read trading books or care about risk management. It only responds to conditioning. This is why practices like cold showers and breath work matter. You're not just building a trading strategy, you're developing nervous system capacity. Your trading results emerge not from your best days, but from your worst ones. And on those worst days, only the reptilian brain is present. Take a personal example. Every morning at 4:47 a.m., stepping into an ice-cold shower wasn't about wellness or social media. It was about training the most powerful trader in my mind. At 2:15, panic sets in. At 2:30, resistance builds. By 2:45, surrender seems inevitable. But by 2:60, pure power emerges. By the time I reached my trading desk, my body had already confronted its worst challenge. A red trading candle can't intimidate someone who voluntarily chose hypothermia before sunrise. This isn't motivation. This is pure biological adaptation. The truth is harsh. Trying to improve trading by collecting more information or studying charts won't solve the real problem. Your inner reptilian brain doesn't understand strategy. It understands feelings. If you can't train your body to remain calm under pressure, you'll keep trading from fear and finding ways to lose money. But there's hope. You can train that primitive part of your brain. You can calm your mammalian instincts. Your human self can take control if you create the right conditions. Start your day with intentional stress. Use ice baths, silence, stillness. When unexpected stress arrives, a bad trade, a losing streak, you won't fall apart. You'll breathe, you'll wait, you'll execute, not as a scared animal, but as a calm, clear human. Yet there's another danger beyond fear. Success itself is the real enemy. Most traders fear failure, but they should fear winning. Failure humbles you. It makes you careful. It reminds you that you're not invincible. Success is different. It's seductive and quiet. It whispers, "You've figured it out. You're special." Take Marcus, for example. A former military guy, disciplined and precise. He spent 2 years perfecting his trading system, journaling every detail, back-testing meticulously. Then it happened. 8 months in, he made $120,000, his first six-figure profit. He called me emotional, believing he'd finally become a real trader. 6 months later, another call. He'd lost everything. More than everything. He now owed his broker $30,000. Same system, same market, but a different person. What changed wasn't the strategy. It was him. Success had transformed him in ways failure never could. The psychological toll of winning was far more dangerous than losing. When you're struggling, you stay grounded. You respect the market's power. You question every decision and constantly learn and adapt. But success breeds a different monster. Ego. It creeps in silently, like smoke seeping under a door. Suddenly, you start making reckless choices. You increase position sizes, thinking you've earned it. You skip critical analysis, believing you already know everything. You move stop losses, trusting your gut over your rules. Those carefully crafted guidelines suddenly seem unnecessary. The very principles that brought initial success become the first things abandoned. Humility gives way to arrogance. Process becomes replaced by belief. Discipline dissolves into emotion. You start trading from identity, not strategy. "I'm a winner now" becomes a dangerous mantra, a countdown to potential destruction. The market is patient and unforgiving. It allows you to win just long enough to make you believe you're special, then ruthlessly reminds you that you're not. In 2019, he made $500,000. In 2020, he lost $1.2 million. Same system, same trader, but completely different outcomes. The difference was fundamental. In 2019, he was a student. In 2020, he was a supposed prophet. He stopped analyzing and started predicting. He stopped respecting the process and started believing in magic. The market punished him not for being wrong, but for believing he couldn't be wrong. Now, after every profitable month, he does something most traders would consider crazy. He practices losing. He opens a simulation account and deliberately takes 10 consecutive bad trades. Not to test strategy, but to reconnect with humility. To remember the sting of failure before it strikes again. It works because it reminds his ego of a crucial truth. He is not the market. He is not chosen. He is not special. He is simply someone who follows a system. The moment he forgets that, he starts trading as if winning is his birthright. But the market doesn't care what anyone thinks they deserve. The market reflects exactly what you do. Stop respecting the process, and you give it permission to take everything from you. Here's something real. The humility protocol. After your next winning week, write down 10 ways the market could destroy you next week. This isn't about attracting failure or manifesting disaster. It's about staying human. Write down your potential traps. Overconfidence leads to overtrading. FOMO. After a strong week causes bad entries. Skipping journaling. Hidden pattern blindness. Believing you're invincible. Punishment is coming. Name these traps before you fall into them. The most dangerous trader isn't the one losing. It's the one who just had his best month ever. Success isn't a reward. It's your next test. If you don't meet success with the same humility you met failure, you'll lose everything. Not today, maybe not this month, but eventually and completely. The market doesn't punish ambition. It punishes arrogance. When you hit a streak, celebrate, then surrender. Smile, then reflect. Win, then reset. Your system didn't make you rich. Your humility did. And it's the only thing that will keep you that way. But what if success isn't the only thing sabotaging you? What if you're not trading for money at all, but for the high? Trading might look like a business, a skill, a profession. But for most people, it's something else entirely. A drug, not metaphorically, biologically, neurologically, literally. Dopamine is the molecule of motivation, desire, pursuit. Not pleasure, but anticipation. It fires when your brain thinks a reward might be coming. What triggers dopamine the most? Uncertainty. And what's the most uncertainty-filled activity on Earth? Trading. Every trade, whether you win, lose, or break even, feeds your brain the same variable reward system used by casinos, slot machines, and social media platforms. I woke up at 3:17 a.m., not because of an alarm, but because my body had become synchronized with the market's rhythm. No trade was open, but I grabbed my phone instantly. The USD had moved 30 pips. My heart raced, not from strategy, but from an overwhelming need to be connected. Something might be happening. Something I could miss. My wife stirred beside me. "You okay?" she mumbled. "Just going to the bathroom," I lied, phone clutched tightly. By 6 a.m., I hadn't slept again. The charts felt more real than my actual life. Candlesticks had become my language, market tickers my comfort zone. This wasn't passion or dedication. This was addiction disguised as professional commitment, gambling dressed in spreadsheets, a dopamine loop I mistook for purpose. I was no longer trading. I was chasing a chemical high. The signs were everywhere. I checked charts constantly, even outside trading hours. Markets closed and I felt restless. I opened positions not because they fit my system, but to feel something. Anything. Profit made me panic. Quiet trades felt unbearable. I couldn't enjoy a meal without checking my phone. My children's laughter became an irritation. I treated my family like interruptions to my real life, the market. But I wasn't pursuing life. I was chasing stimulation, the rush, the illusion of control. I needed more and more just to feel less and less. The silence was deafening and the boredom unbearable. When you're addicted to dopamine, peace feels like death. So I'd open another trade, scroll another chart, redraw another line, pretending I was being productive. But really, I was just scratching an itch. Withdrawal was brutal. Day 1, my hands were shaking. Day 2, anxiety attacks hit every hour. Day 3, I dreamed of candlesticks. By day 5, I was angry at everything. Myself, the charts, the entire world. On day 7, my wife looked at me and said I looked different. By day 10, for the first time in years, I felt clarity. Not motivation, not excitement, but pure stillness. That's when I realized the truth. I wasn't a trader. I was a junkie, a dopamine addict dressed up as a professional. And the market didn't care. It never does. So I decided to detox. Not cold turkey, but deliberately and systematically. I couldn't just delete the app and hope to be free. I needed to rebuild my brain. Week by week, I created a protocol. No phone in the bedroom, alarm clock across the room. First market urge, 20 push-ups. Charts only during market hours. Weekends meant markets didn't exist. I limited my trade checks, set alerts, treated charts like medicine. Trading became a reward. No morning workout meant no charts. This wasn't punishment. It was about recalibrating my nervous system. I needed space from the noise, from the need, from the false urgency dopamine creates. And slowly, I started seeing the market differently. Not a game, not a savior, not a high. Just a place where patterns meet behavior. A mirror, not a drug. Trading isn't just about charts. It's about understanding yourself. Can you go 48 hours without checking a price? If not, you're not trading, you're using. The market isn't your partner, it's your dealer. But the addiction is just a symptom of something deeper. The market doesn't actually exist. Those charts, those candlesticks, they're just light and pixels on a screen. Neutral, silent, empty. Until you look at them. And then they become a mirror, reflecting something much more profound. I've tested this with hundreds of traders. I put 10 people in separate rooms, show them the exact same chart, and ask what they see. The results are always fascinating. One trader sees a bull trap about to collapse. Another sees a breakout ready to launch. Someone else sees market manipulation. Another sees consolidation. Same chart, same moment. 4 completely different realities. Why? Because they're not seeing the market. They're seeing themselves. Their fears, their hopes, their inner landscape projected onto those neutral pixels. Fear sees danger. Greed sees opportunity. Anger sees conspiracy. Desperation sees salvation. The chart itself is just math and light. But the person looking? They bring everything with them. Their beliefs, their mood, their entire personal history. Every candle gets filtered through their internal world. I learned this personally during a dark time. My wife was sick. My family was terrified. And suddenly, trading patterns I'd known for years disappeared. Not from the market, from my perception. My internal chaos meant I could only see chaos on the screen. The market hadn't changed. I had. Science confirms this phenomenon. Your brain's activating system filters millions of incoming information bits every second. It allows only what matches your current emotional state. When you're calm and focused, you see clear setups, structured risks, and opportunities. But when anxious or tired, you perceive false signals, random spikes, and confusion. The same chart looks completely different depending on your mental state. Trading isn't about recognizing patterns. It's about recognizing your internal state. Before you even look at the charts, you've already predetermined what you'll see and how you'll react. You don't trade the market. You trade your internal emotional landscape. Your perception transforms the market's reality. When fearful, every small red candle looks like a potential crash. Each false signal feels personal. Every loss becomes confirmation of your inadequacy. In a state of greed, opportunities seem everywhere. You force entries that don't exist. You increase position sizes when you should walk away. But when calm, the chart becomes clear. Noise fades. The market starts feeling like music, a rhythm you sense rather than chase. This is the market mirror theory. The market isn't objective. It's your consciousness made visible. Realizing this changes everything. You stop blaming external factors. You stop claiming the market is rigged or your system is broken. You understand that your internal state creates the chaos. From a place of fear, you cannot see opportunity. Danger hides behind arrogance, and truth gets lost when emotions cloud judgment. The market speaks honestly, but our inner state constantly deceives us. The real solution isn't just tracking trades, it's tracking our own emotional landscape. Your greatest advantage as a trader isn't a perfect system. It's understanding yourself. Picture this moment. You wake up feeling exhausted, anxious, emotionally unstable, and you recognize it. So you don't trade. Not because a technical rule stops you, but because your internal state warns you. That single decision could protect your entire trading month, maybe even your career. The most dangerous trader isn't someone without a strategy. It's someone who doesn't understand their own psychological triggers when they click the mouse. Such a trader navigates blindly, not through market dynamics, but through their own unexamined inner landscape. Before placing a trade, ask yourself, am I truly seeing the market, or am I just projecting my own fears? Until you understand that difference, you're not really trading. You're just reflecting your inner confusion and calling it analysis. What if market losses aren't punishments, but messages? What if they're revealing something deeper about your subconscious beliefs and what you think you deserve? You're not here for simple strategies or quick wins. You're seeking something more profound. Trading isn't about beating the market. It's about confronting yourself, your beliefs, your reactions under pressure. It's about understanding the unconscious patterns you've carried since childhood. This journey stops being about money and becomes about personal liberation. You might have started to learn trading, but you're discovering something bigger. Trading is the mirror, the teacher, the battlefield. And your real challenge was never the market. It was always yourself. I used to believe I had to struggle to be worthy. I thought success meant constant punishment and hard work. I believed I needed to prove myself through endless effort. But the market wasn't punishing me. It was simply showing me a reflection of myself. I realized there are two ways to approach trading. the finite game, and the infinite game. Most traders play the finite game, obsessed with rules, goals, wins, and losses. They chase milestones like daily earnings and annual targets. They try to beat the market and compare themselves to others. But this game always ends, usually in burnout. The infinite game is different. It's about continuous evolution, not winning once. Success isn't measured in dollars, but in personal growth. It's about staying calm during challenges, responding consciously to fear, and understanding yourself more deeply over time. In this game, every trade becomes feedback. Every emotion is valuable information. Each trigger is an opportunity for healing. Instead of asking how to win more, I started asking what each moment could teach me. Who was I becoming through this process? Was I truly aligned or just chasing something? Gradually, I began trading less, but feeling more. I sized down my trades, but expanded my thinking. I lost the adrenaline rush and gained peace. Without noticing, I stopped being obsessed. I became present, calm, and detached. Not from indifference, but from understanding. I realized the reward was never the outcome. The reward was me. I stopped trading to fix my life and started trading to understand myself, to refine my skills, to find stillness. And in that stillness, I found clarity, confidence, and consistency. Listen closely. This journey isn't about winning on Twitter or impressing friends. It's about personal growth. I'm committed to this path, staying strong long after others give up. The real question isn't when you'll succeed, but what version of yourself must emerge to make success inevitable. The answer isn't found in charts or trading indicators. It's not in some online strategy video. The answer's in the mirror, staring right back at you. This is an infinite game. There's no final destination, no ultimate victory, no grand celebration. Just the next breath, the next moment of awareness, the next conscious trade. And that's enough. Because this time, you're not trading to run away from yourself. You're trading to truly understand yourself. This is about meeting your authentic self fully and completely. It's a journey of continuous growth and self-discovery. Every trade, every moment is an opportunity to learn, to evolve, to become more of who you're meant to be. Share in the comments what helped you reclaim your strength. Likes and subscriptions help our channel grow.